Welcome to Medical Spa Mastermind. I'm your host, Kathy Christensen, and for today's episode, I'm very excited to be sitting down with one of my old friends in the industry. Brandon and I have known each other for several years now. I will just put it lightly that way. And he's an incredible kind of juggernaut in the industry because Brandon never sleeps. But we'll talk about that in a minute. First of all, let me tell you a little bit about all that Brandon has accomplished. So Brandon Mullen, BSN, RN, BC. He's the founder and lead injector of MPWR Aesthetics and Wellness in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. It's a boutique injectables med spa. After earning his degree in 2009 and completing his BSN, Brandon was in critical care. And over the next decade, he expanded into healthcare tech and client success roles. And we'll talk about how that kind of has influenced his direction. And then focused on his passion, which was and still is, I'm sure, aesthetic medicine. In founding MPWR Aesthetics and Wellness, Brandon leveraged more than 20 years of nursing and practice management experience to create a practice where safety, innovation, and personalized care drive every treatment. He's the lead injector. He also co-founded and hosts 2 podcasts. I can barely do this one, and he's doing 2, but that's Brandon for you. The Injector Business Blueprint and an Aesthetic Injector Gang. And in his non-existent spare time, he also runs the Aesthetic Practice Management Group, which is a group that helps other practice managers and solopreneurs. So without further ado, please help me welcome Brandon Mullen. So glad to have you on the podcast.
Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate you asking me. I will say with that intro, my imposter syndrome is on overdrive because I will say that some of those have they're sitting on the back burner a little bit more than they used to. But yeah, it's been a fun ride over the past, I don't know, 20 plus years in healthcare. I will say that.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that, though. Why is it on the back burner? Tell me a little bit let's go back to kind of what we talked about where you entered the industry, but you've made a major shift over the past 2 years. You own MPWR Aesthetic and Wellness. You're about 2 years into it, which is a lot of folks are in the exact same place. And it's easy, right? Smooth sailing.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have a care in the world.
Yeah.
I drive a Maserati.
Uh-huh.
I work like 4 hours a week. It's great.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, no,
so
I hear
carefree.
that. Super easy, right? No, so obviously you're in the thick of things. So tell us a little bit about your journey and how you got here and where you're at now.
Yeah, so Reader's Digest, critical care background. After I worked in the ICU for a couple years, I realized that I needed a change from bedside. So I worked for an insurance company, then I worked for a software company, and then that brought us to COVID. COVID
Yeah.
really changed everything after. I'm very thankful for the role that I had. I worked at home, but my friend had the opportunity to open up her own practice in Virginia. So I was able and fortunate enough to travel back and forth for the better part of 5 years to be her, what we called fractional practice manager, because I was on site about 3, 4 days a week, sometimes longer, depending on the situation. I would do what I needed to do on site, then travel back to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania every other week and do stuff remotely. So that really started the springboard into aesthetics. Slight step back. I was a fine connoisseur of injectables for uh, the better part of 13 years now, something like that.
Uh-huh.
So that kind of piqued my interest in the industry. And I got the brainiac idea to start something in my hometown in 2021 ish.
Uh-huh.
And what was going to be a little bit of an incubator of a practice and an idea turned into a bigger thing.
Uh-huh.
And here we are today, now in our, second location, second year, all kinds of things.
Yeah, so you're busy. You're
Little
busy.
bit, little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's quite that's quite a thing to do to expand that quickly into your second location. What kind of drove that decision and how is it going?
So I will say that, the 5 years that I spent kind of harnessing my practice manager-ness, um, and my innate kind of nature just to make relationships with other people really has only made any of this possible. So like my first
Mhm.
location was truly the incubator for Empower. I really built it for my other injector, to be honest, Katie. She, throughout the years, had listened to me about what to do. You know, she was a bedside nurse. I want to be an injector. You know, we've all heard
Uh-huh.
that song and dance. And it was so hard for her to get an opportunity. She applied, she was denied. You need experience, blah,
Mm.
blah. I said, you know what? Screw that. I'll build a brand for you and we'll just do this little micro thing. So my first location in Greensburg is in an office. It's in an existing dental office that my buddy owns.
Uh-huh.
So like the overhead was pretty low. It was a small space. It's housed in a 10,000 square foot building. So people think I have this like big bougie office. It's not what it is. And it never was.
Uh-huh.
But the idea and opportunity to expand really only happened after being there for about 6 months because initially I was just going to do talks, PRF, and skincare and leave it at that. But
Uh-huh.
the area, my patients were demanding filler. We need filler. And I was like, wow, my mind was blown because
Uh-huh.
I think that you know too, like the theme of this year and most of last was
Yes.
like a little bit of filler fatigue, right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
I think with proper education in the right hands, filler is great. So I guess we're doing pretty good because we've done a fair amount of filler. So that led to the second location. Long story short, a piece of property that was ideal came available that was 5 minutes from my house. And that's where I'm currently sitting talking to you right now.
All right. So
Yeah.
how are you feeling as far as how far are you into your second location at this point?
We opened in September of last year or August. So not even a
Wow.
full year here.
Yeah. So, tell me your challenges in that. What were kind of the big things that you knew you wanted to make sure? Because when you have two locations, there are different ways to do it. So, did you decide to have two completely different, or are they tied into the same brand? Brandon, you're like a branding genius, so I'm dying to know how you did it. And then, how do you continue to grow in that vein?
Thank you. So I will say that I did want to keep everything the same, like
Mhm.
pricing. Initially, I kept the services the same, but after we've been here, it was very apparent that whatever I've cultivated in this space in Penn Township, was really where people wanted to go. It's a larger footprint. I have now 4 treatment rooms, so it just made sense. It feels homier. It really embodies the vibe of Empower. So it
Yeah.
naturally draws people here. So I did change Greensburg to be injectables only because on the
Mm,
back end, the logistics of keeping inventory fresh and in 2 places and easily trackable was mind numbing.
yes.
So I was like, we need to take something out of somewhere. So I took all of basically product and I kind of take it there now. So it just makes a lot more sense. And it's less for me to keep track of.
Yeah. And so, how far from each other are your locations?
So physically, they're about 15 miles, 17 miles. Time wise, about 20 minutes. But it is like two universes, it seems like.
Okay.
I think in this post-COVID era, people are very, instant gratification. I want things nice and close to home. So it
Yeah.
literally does feel like a lot farther, but it's really not. But if you say someone, to drive from Greensburg to Harrison City, they're like, where's that? Oh my God. I'm like, it's really like not that far, babe. But,
Yeah.
it's worked out in a great way. And this space just has a different vibe that I think I was trying to force in the first one. So it
Mm-hmm.
feels like home.
Yeah. So, are you a suburb of Pittsburgh? Is
Yeah.
that correct? Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
I are you finding kind of like you said with more people working from home, more people kind of leaving that because I'm in Chicago and it's very kind of similar.
Hmm.
If you're in the neighborhood, it's that's where you're staying for the most
Hmm.
part. Have you seen that kind of be part of your growth situation? And how do you make sure that's part of it? I think a lot of people who are trying to build in suburban areas or even more rural areas they have that ability to grow within that clientele that's now kind of like bougier tastes, but staying home more. Talk to me about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think, I mean, obviously everybody wants everything that's convenient, but if you build it, they will come, kind of was my initial mentality.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a little bit harder, honestly, to get people to my first location. So being
Mm,
here, I won't say that it's like super competitive or saturated where I am, but I mean, it does exist. But I will say that just being in a more community laden area does help with drive-by and foot traffic, which I'm really not used to.
mm-hmm.
So that's really helped grow in a way that I didn't really think, because I'm used to being in places where it was truly like a destination, not
Mm-hmm.
like so much walk by. And where I'm at currently isn't like really super walkable, but it's a lot more visible by
Mm-hmm.
car. And I think just having a location in a sort of unexpected place has been a benefit so far.
Yeah, tell me more about that. How do you take advantage of that? Because I know we hear a lot from people who are in urban areas, and it's kind of they're larger, they have a higher dollar patient kind of pool to dip into. So tell me more about like the things of being in that more suburban area. Like what are you doing to bring in traffic and appeal to people and just kind of stand out. It sounds like you're one of the first, and you're also amazing. So I'm sure that's not hard. But yeah, tell me a little bit about the suburban world and how you're kind of growing in it.
I had to buy the stereotypical suburban housewife white SUV.
Yes, I have
So
one. I have
yeah,
one.
had to fit in. No, but I do have a white SUV, but I didn't like the back of it, so I put my logo on it with a QR
Okay.
code. Because why not? It's a big billboard, so why
Uh-huh.
not put a call to action on the back?
Love it.
Um, I mean, marketing has always been a little bit of a challenge because you never know what hits until you're kind of somewhere for a little bit. So I've done mailers, I've done billboards, I have A-frame signs, I have banners. So it's really figuring out what works, but that hasn't been something that I've 100% figured out.
Uh-huh.
In-person networking has been my number
Uh-huh.
one lead referral, and I am a shameless self promoter of all the things. So I will go to the grave thinking that you really do need to go where your people are. So
So,
I do.
what has been your most successful in-person networking?
I belong to three chambers now, two private networking groups, a partridge in a pear tree, but I also love to personally work out.
Yeah.
So am I at several gyms with my branded material on? Absolutely. Um, do I have a branded, water jug? Like I literally just put my logo out everywhere, and I will use any opportunity to shamelessly plug myself. But it's because I love and believe what I do. So I don't have a problem doing it. And it's very natural to me. So it doesn't come off pushy or salesy.
We will be right back after these messages.
This episode is sponsored by Growth 99, the med spa industry's leading digital marketing platform. Growth 99 has helped over 1,000 aesthetic and elective wellness practices grow through powerful digital marketing. Leading practices trust Growth 99 for services including marketing automation, beautiful websites, paid media, and SEO. Visit www.growth99.com today to learn more, or click the link in our show notes.
And now, back to our episode.
Tell me about what in this kind of era that you're in right now, what would you say your biggest challenge is? So you said you opened your doors in 21, it's 26, you have your second location. What would you say your biggest challenge is? And then kind of looking back, what was is your greatest win as you're kind of growing and building this incredible brand?
So, well, thank you. So I will say that I actually opened in 25.
Oh, okay.
21 is when I got into the space.
Oh, gotcha.
Um,
Yeah, it was like, wow, I didn't realize it. But time is just this concept lately that I can't seem to grab onto.
everything melts into another. I can't believe we're already
I
like
know. It's
halfway
like,
through
has it
this
been
year.
that long? I don't even. Okay.
It's insane. I will say, to answer the first part of your question, the biggest challenge that I'm now seeing, kind of being like a little over a year into it, is when you are starting out as a small business and you don't have that customer base, or you really need to grow your book, as everybody says, you really need to hustle to
Mm-hmm.
make those connections and to impart how important that is to your staff, and to
Yes.
make them
Yes.
help themselves, help me, help you,
Yes. Yes.
is number one for sure. Because this is my life, this is my life savings, and I love it. And I have that drive in me, but not everyone has the same ambition.
Yes. Yes. That is so tricky
Yes.
to get people to, and I don't know that you can, right? Like that you can get people to care as much about your baby, your business as you
Yes.
do. But what is the percentage of hustle? I always
Right.
kind of stick at 80. I'm like 80% hustle is a win in my
Hmm.
book. But it is tricky, especially when you're I'm sure you're an owner. I work with Ronna Kennelly now, and
Hmm.
she's an owner that is there every single day, and she's hustling really hard in her own business. So, and I'm sure you're the same way. You're hustling that hard, which is why you're growing. But have you figured out any ways to kind of trickle that down into your team?
Verbally saying it is like talking to the wall, but
Oh,
it's really trying to incentivize people where they're going to kind of get that buy-in, whether it's financial,
mm-hmm,
whether it is true emotional, whether it is that true hunger to get better at their craft.
mm-hmm,
I haven't found that secret sauce yet, but
mm-hmm.
a lot of it is time too, right? Like,
Right.
this is my life, it consumes my life. I work 36 hours a day, but not everyone has that opportunity. People have family obligations and things like that. And, will I have work-life balance? Never, but I try to the best of my ability. But I think sometimes I expect a little bit too much from something
Mm,
that I think is very easy, that is not naturally easy to others.
mm-hmm. I think that's very insightful of you, because that is true. There is a certain amount of, I want to say you're on the X millennial cusp, right? Or are you
Mhm.
full millennial? Are
I'm
you
millennial,
you're an
I think.
elder millennial? Is
I'm
that like,
41. What does that mean?
I think you're an elder millennial because I am a young X. Like I
Okay.
think I might be within 2 years of X ending. So you're kind of right there. And we are just drivers and hustlers naturally, I would say.
Mhm.
Um, I've heard this complaint, not complaint, but this concern, this issue from a lot of folks that have, the younger, and I hate to say that it's generational, but it might be.
But it
Uh,
is.
yeah.
It really is. I mean, some of these, especially like now, like I have two stepkids. So I always say my husband got gay later in life. I have a 19 and a 21-year-old,
Uh-huh.
and they're two completely opposite humans. I love them
Uh-huh.
both. They'll probably never listen to this, so I can talk about them. But the 21-year-old is a straight up hustler. She
Yep.
has been that way since she started working, very much like me. The other one, she is living on vibes and rainbows, and she's going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
And she knows that. I've told her that. She's an Aries like me. I'm like, you're gonna struggle, babe. Things are gonna
Yeah.
happen, but you know what? It is what it is.
It is what it is, and we as like leaders have to figure it out too. Is how do we motivate within these boundaries that like we didn't have? I didn't have boundaries, admittedly. Like I was just like, pay me, thank you for the job. I'm so glad I have a job. I'll do whatever you want. And these folks are not that way, and I think that's healthy and good. But we as business, leaders and owners have to figure out how to tap into that thing that like triggers them into caring and
Yep.
making it like exciting for them. So what would you say is like your biggest win at this point?
I think my biggest win is honestly, I know you would you call me the queen of branding, or you didn't say that, but I thought it in my
But I
head.
think I should. Yeah.
I think it's honestly that, and trying to package things in a way that makes sense.
Hmm.
Because I feel like I've been able to capture what makes sense and what can best meet a patient's needs without becoming unattainable or unaffordable.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the biggest thing I do is educate. It's not even sales. It's literally just educating. And if you educate in the correct way, you end up selling as a
Yeah.
byproduct.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So if you're someone, I think you, Brandon, with your background and your personality, you're kind of naturally inclined to focus on that. If you aren't someone who's naturally inclined to focus on like educating and understanding that it actually does make the sale, how do you start that? How do you learn to do better with that?
Truly, I think it comes from understanding yourself and realizing your strengths, your opportunities, and how in tune you are with your learning style. Because for me, I like to I'm very visual, I'm slightly auditory, a little ADHD, and I think I need to hear things and watch people do things for it to make sense for me. Like you can
Hmm.
tell me sometimes with some things until you're blue in the face, but I need to watch it, I need to see
Yes.
it. I can't conceptualize it. So understanding first, as an injector, going for that role, you have to be comfortable in what you're doing.
Hmm.
I'm not going to kill this person, that's step one. like Making sure that you're comfortable with that, because trying to learn business injecting, how to close, upsell, cross sell,
Yes.
and make it all look seamless, it does not happen overnight. So
Hmm.
having grace with yourself and understanding, again, what your strengths and opportunities are, what do you need to conquer first? Obviously we can't kill people.
Yeah.
Second of all, you have to understand, the brand that you are in, making sure that when you upsell, cross sell, it's making sense, you're getting repeat buyers, you're doing good work, all of those things. And then it's from the consult perspective, it's kind of just wrapping that up all together. And that, I mean, it really depends on where you work. I'm trying to cultivate something that I'm not the Walmart of aesthetics. I don't want you in here
Hmm.
for 15-minute appointments. I want longer appointment times because I want a relationship.
Hmm.
So you have to make sure that you're in an environment where you feel comfortable and you subscribe to the ethos of that brand and that company, that you guys match. Because if you don't like that, if you don't want to sit and talk to people for a while, and I'm not saying for 3 hours, but maybe
Right.
sometimes it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I have had 3-hour appointments, I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, did we do a full face that was a pretty good ticket? Absolutely. But
Yes.
that wasn't the goal, it was just the byproduct. So um that's my goal, and if it makes me $1 million, maybe someday it will, but that's not, again, the goal. I think that when you put the good things out there, you do the right work, those things will come back tenfold. And I know I completely birdwalked from the original question, but figuring out what piece of that opportunity, as far as not feeling good about educating or consulting, then figure out your learning style and match those two gaps together. Do you need to go to a conference? Do you need to listen to a podcast about doing a better consult? Do you need to watch Terry Ross be engaging and fiery on a stage? What do you need? Is really, I think, the only way that you can grow.
Yeah, I think that's right, Brandon, especially when you say figure out what it is that you need, because I think there are a lot of different ways to do this successfully in this business. And once if you don't know what you want, if you haven't spent that much time with yourself to try to figure out where you excel and where you don't, it's important to do that, because then you can actually find a way to not only find a matching, home for you, but also to find who teaches to you. Like a
Yeah,
Terry Ross may not be the same for everybody, because
right,
she lights up some people, and other people, it's not right. Whereas other consultants are exactly the same. They love a Terry Ross style person, and they can't stand, somebody else in the industry, because it's just not the way that they're not communicating the same language. So
right.
no, I love that. So we're going to call you the Queen of Branding now. And as the Queen of Branding, talk to me about your relationship with social media.
Oh God, is it love hate? It's so
You're
funny
like
because
at some point, I'm going to compile all my guests together when I ask that question, and it's literally the same response.
it is, because so it's like, what did we do before social media? What did we do before ChatGPT now? I don't even remember, but
Yeah.
it's like trying to be authentic, not give too much away, find a balance, find something that's engaging. It's not short enough, but not too long. It's like literally the bane of my existence.
Uh-huh.
I was very comfortable just sitting like we are now, throwing my phone
Mm-hmm.
up, and just recording live, which
Uh-huh.
was great for a while. I'm trying to get back that and do more like clinically educating things instead of
Yes.
funny things, because I like to be like what I call like edutaining, like a little bit funny, but like a little entertaining. And then I put a wig on, and then that turned into a whole thing that was actually from the med spa show like 3 years ago when there was the Vegas party. So like I had that wig on. What made me put it on that day and put a Pittsburghese accent on real thick is beyond me, but it's my most viewed video. And
Oh my God.
like everybody wanted to be injected by Donnie. And like, I mean, he
Wow.
could probably do better than me at this point, financially, if I got him an agent. But like I also, then it's like, okay, then my over engineering brain starts, okay, well, or is everyone going to like think I'm a joke or take me not seriously
Mm.
and blah blah blah. So um there is no good answer, but
Mm-hmm.
what I will say does not work is reading from a script for me, because you'll look at content, you could tell
Uh-huh.
what I'm reading. And but now I just don't have time to like sit there and edit something. So it's so troubling because I can't hand it off to anybody to do.
Yes.
I've tried that, it doesn't work. But like I get terrible engagement when I try to edit or filter myself. So
Uh-huh.
I'm getting to the point where I'm just talking to the camera. I try to skinny it down. I'm trying to find the right person to even skinny it down, because that's a challenge too.
Mm-hmm.
And then use AI in responsible doses that I tailor to get captions.
Yep.
And that is all the wisdom I have to offer. If anyone has anything else, that would be great. I wish I could have a filming crew 24/7 and just, put together those pieces of my life, because that would be probably hilarious and, 3% educating. But that's it. I don't know. You got anything, Kathy? I can't. I
I
can't.
don't. But I do think, I mean, would you agree it's necessary
Oh, it's
in this
100%
industry?
necessary.
It's necessary.
100%.
There's no, it would be, I think it would be extremely difficult to not, be active on social media. But I think you're absolutely right. Like showing clinical, showing before and afters, and also balancing it with entertainment and the team and fun and forced fun. That's always my favorite. Whenever you're like scrolling through Instagram and you see teams that are like, oh, I
Right.
don't want to do the Charleston today.
Right. I see now what I can't do the TikToks. So I don't know what you classified me, but I am geriatric as fuck whenever you try to give me a TikTok, because you could give me 3 steps, but my ADHD, I'm already over this. So I need you to tell me the same thing that you told me step one 14 times, and I will still screw it up, because I can't. I'm not
No,
a good TikToker. I
no.
can't.
I know. Hey, and that's okay. That's okay. You know what you are. And it's not, I'm not either. I'm not a TikToker. Somebody told me where to follow them on TikTok and they're like, and I'm also on Instagram. I'm like, that's my speed. We're going to
No.
do Instagram. So tell me, in this crazy industry, mentoring and being mentored is a really big part of growth. Have you had a mentor in your life? And tell me about that relationship if so.
Absolutely. Ashley Carmen of Ion
I love
Atelier.
Ashley.
Right. Oh God, everybody needs a drink of her. She is literally the bee's knees. I have learned so much from her, just in every aspect, as a business owner, as a wife, dog mom, friend, everything. She
Uh-huh.
literally is the whole package, and is really like the driver for half of the initiative that I have in this space. But we kind of grew up together in a sense. Helping her build Iona was amazing. It was like Cheers, right? Like it'll never
Yeah.
be, that was like the pinnacle.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just the past like year and a half has just been crazy because, you know that you are signing up for, I'll call it good stress when
Uh-huh.
you have your own practice, but you don't know until you're actually in it. So, I haven't crawled into a ball in the fetal position yet
Good.
and crawled under my
Yeah.
desk.
Uh-huh.
I will say I have closed all the windows in my car in an empty parking lot and screamed at the top of my lungs a couple times. I 10 out of 10 recommend that if you're having a bad day. Um, Scream car therapy. I should trademark that, but it's good. It's really
Yeah.
good.
That's awesome. No, I love Ashley. She's amazing, and she's really someone to watch. She's if you are on the IG, what is she? Botox and bourbon,
Yep,
or bourbon
Botox
and
and bourbon,
Botox?
the best handle ever.
I know. I love her. She's
Mhm.
amazing. I was going to ask you when you are burned out, like what is your go-to strategy, but now I know it's car screaming.
That,
Anything
and I
else
will
you would
say,
recommend?
yeah, the fridge sig. I will the whole Diet Coke craze. I've been on Diet Coke for about 2 years now. I know that I have a problem, and I don't care. I admit it. I'm not going to seek help for it. But a good old fridge sig and a bloom, and if you mix both of them together, you're really having a good day. Um, this has been, and it's what 2:30 now. This is my afternoon one. It's really good.
So I think you're my favorite guest who has answered that question. Because
Well,
normally it's like
thanks.
yoga and meditation, and you're like screaming in my car and a fridge stick.
I mean, it really is. I will say that Pilates, like some sort of physical exercise, is good. Like, yes, turn it into a marketing event as you see fit. But
Yeah.
I will say, I know that I get very cantankerous after if I don't work out for like 2 or 3 days,
Uh-huh.
like my body craves it, like it
Yeah.
does this fridge thing. But it really is good to just get out. But also, that is where your people are. They are at Pilates gyms. They are
Yep.
at the local yoga, Pilates, whatever, CrossFit. But
Yeah.
not just because they might be your patients, but you might be able to collaborate on their grand opening, their anniversary party, Pilates in the park. I mean, the list goes
Yeah.
on and on and on.
Well, and I love a lot of people feel like they can't find the time for these things. And I love kind of your idea of making it branding for your business. It's like you're actually going to multiple gyms or you're going to multiple events with branding on. So if you need that reason to get out there, that's a great one. But I
Hmm.
want to circle back to a really important question.
Hmm.
Let's talk about Diet Coke for a minute. How do you
Hmm.
feel about where is the best Diet Coke? Are you someone who believes it's the fountain at McDonald's?
I honestly, Sheets, depending on the Sheets. So Sheets gas station, you probably don't have those, but um, I will say Sheets has the good ice too. So
Mm.
they're pretty good. I go to a dollar store, I'm not gonna lie, on the Saturdays when they have their little coupons, and I get these little buggers dirt cheap because I also have at least three beverages. There's one for the mind, one for the body, which is water, and then one for the soul. So I have my leftover Khalees coffee, which is a beautiful local brand, and I'm best friends
Oh,
with them.
nice.
So I have my Khalees coffee, I have my fridge sig, and then there's water somewhere around here, but I never finish any of them. That coffee's actually from yesterday.
Oh,
So
whatever works, right?
yeah, yeah. So, but the fountain is definitely preferred, but that'll be like a 2027, 28 stretch goal to have an actual soda fountain in here.
Oh man. See, then you have lived the dream. It's like, do you watch Hacks at all? That show Hacks?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
she's got her
Deb's, yes, her
Deb.
whole, yes.
Yeah, love that show.
Hmm.
I can't bring myself to watch the finale because it'll make me sad.
Oh, don't. It's bad. Like
Oh
bad in a good
no.
way. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, it is kind of
I'm gonna need
sad.
some time. Can't do it. I need
You're gonna
some
need
time.
something harder than your Diet
Yeah,
Coke.
that's right. Throw a little vodka in there.
Yeah.
Um, so tell me, there's a big kind of um conversation that's happening in a lot of groups right now, Facebook groups about oversaturation. And I
Hmm.
actually spoke to Rob Pickell. I haven't released that episode yet, but um and he actually has benchmarking reports on the industry is getting quite full in saturation. The consultant in me and the business person in me says yes, but
Hmm.
I feel like me personally, I feel like that's, something easy to glom onto as far as an excuse to be for challenge, but
Mhm.
I'd love to know your thoughts on it. Do you believe the saturation is existing, and do you also believe that's the reason people aren't succeeding?
So I think that it all circles back to branding and the reason why you got into this industry, to be very honest with you. It always sounds cheesy, but like if you build something that people want to come to and you have an attracting vibe, people will come. Starbucks doesn't care that Dunkin' Donuts is down the street.
Right.
So are they saturated in certain areas? Yes. And then that turns into like a whole pricing fiasco. But like
Yes.
if you come into this profession with honest intentions and you're not thinking that you're going to make a quick buck, you do things correct, your dominoes should fall nicely. But it's like I think the people that think it's so easy, I'm going to do this on the side. I hate when people say
Yeah.
that is the most cringiest thing to me. I'm going to do it on the side. I'm like,
Yeah.
this side is my fucking life. Sorry. I don't know if I can swear on here. I should have asked you that, but like
Oh
this is
no,
my
swear,
life.
swear
Like
away.
I mean, I take it very seriously. These are medical
Hmm.
treatments. Like people can get hurt. So I think that the only way that you can make yourself different is by not being those people. So not constantly discounting, not um, making I have memberships. I love memberships. I want everybody on a membership because I say selfishly, I want you with me for the rest of your life. So
Uh-huh.
like I don't want one and dones. I want
Uh-huh.
people for a long-term relationship. I'm like, we're gonna be engaged, we're gonna get married one day, like things are gonna happen. And not everybody wants to be like that. Like it's not
Uh-huh.
about, I have worked with business coaches before, and God, I love Aaron McNeil so much. And I really want to look at that like, you know, or revenue per hour per room, but like I can't like 100% do that. Like I'm not living by vibes, but like I'm
Yeah.
trying to make intelligent decisions that drive a lot more retention. And by driving retention, long term we'll do revenue with intelligent like memberships, upsells and cross sells throughout the duration of that relationship. So I'm more looking for that like LTV to be increased
Uh-huh.
versus like the near term. Is it the smartest business plan? I don't know. We'll find out. But like I've been incrementally increasing month by month. So, if you look at my litmus test here, like I think I'm doing okay. So,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep on keeping on.
Well, now I think you're right. And I think that's actually you can't measure it. It's kind of emotional intelligence with your patients, right?
Mhm.
You can't necessarily measure the impact, which makes it difficult when you get a business coach in. And I'm guilty of this too, like spreadsheeting out everything under the sun because I love spreadsheets and I think they tell us a lot, which they do.
Mhm.
But I also know you can't track good vibes, you can't track hustle, you can't track any of the stuff that you like. Happy people, you happy team members, staff that feels like they're getting what they need and their cup is full and they're giving that to patients. You can't find that on a spreadsheet.
Yep.
So I think that is the unknown factor. And I
Mhm.
think it's also the critical factor. Like, I think it's tricky. I mean, you can have a come in, get a treatment and leave kind of business, but when you're going into what we're going into, which is a kind of growth mode that we need differentiation, that doesn't give you anything to kind of go on. So
Yep.
I love that. I love that. So tell me, I've spent a lot of time with you today, and I
That's
know
okay. I love it.
you're a busy guy. But tell me, one of my favorite questions that I always ask everybody on my podcast, except Rob Pical, because I didn't feel like I could, is what would your theme song be right now if you had one in your career right now?
Oh, that's a good one. It would probably be some sort of, so like my ADHD really tracks to like a chill EDM flow. There's not one particular song, but just something with like a low rhythmic beat and like
Uh-huh.
a little like I don't know, some like cascade sometimes that's what I'm kind of like tracking to right now. But I like EDM, so some sort of EDM song that
Yeah,
isn't too like crazy loud.
right.
Mhm.
Very good.
Sorry. I know you expected something a lot more jazzy, but I don't have one favorite. I don't.
I think that's great. You shouldn't have one favorite. I love all different kinds of music. Um, so as we kind of close, I would
Mhm.
love to know, as you're looking at our crazy industry right now, what is
Mhm.
exciting you about what's happening? And what would you change if you could?
I think what's exciting me is the kind of combination use of biostimulators and filler to get better, more natural results. I think we're
Hmm.
over the the aesthetic of overfilled in certain areas. So like everyone kind of like calming down, like my face doesn't have to be frozen, like
Yes.
we can be a little more human. Um I think one thing that I would change is definitely the regulation. It boggles my mind how unregulated we are, and I know that
Hmm.
that's changing incrementally state by state, but like I think one day we'll get on the same page, probably at the end of my career. But I mean, it's not going to happen quick. Let's be honest.
Uh-huh.
But because I hear horror stories of what patients are doing or not doing outside of these walls, and it worries me because
Uh-huh.
people can do stupid things to themselves, whether
Hmm.
they do it knowingly or unknowingly. But like, I'm very education and safety focused here, so I really just hope that that is something that comes down the pike in a good way in the near future.
Yes, I completely agree. From your lips, like we have to figure out how to weed out the bad actors and keep them from,
Yes.
getting all of the attention. There's so much good happening in this industry, but you get one bad actor and they're all over the news. And
Yep.
so, well, Brandon, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank
I
you.
love spending time with you. So tell me, if people want to find you and stalk you and track you, where do they find you?
So you can find all the links from my website, MPWR Aesthetics, AESTHETICS.com, or on Instagram at Empower Aesthetics, or my personal / still my life is at the THE _ aesthetic consultant.com or .com. Just the aesthetic consultant. That's fine.
Keep drinking that Diet Coke, Brandon.
Exactly. I need more caffeine than this, baby.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. It has been a pleasure, and I can't wait to see you soon.
Absolutely, my dear. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.